Hey y'all, welcome to the second tutorial guide. Just going to load up a world. As you can see, I've done a little bit of crafting. The neat thing I did offline was I created 4 sycamore trees. Sorry, Douglas fir trees. Yeah, spruce trees. Okay, 4 spruce trees at the corners of the house, so that I could have a neat little set of pillars holding my house up and such. So I think that's pretty much all that's changed. Here's my little collection of chests with varying degrees of stuff in them. I got my little farm field over here. I believe these are oak trees, is what I was growing. Oak or ash. Doesn't look like maple. Could be ash. Not ash. So, a lot of people have always asked me why I plant things like this. The way the trees kind of grow from like vanilla was after they're so old, they'll have a chance of growing. And this pretty much just makes it so all of these saplings are old because they're all down and right next to each other. So when you dig one out, or chop one down, another one shouldn't be too long in popping back up again. So I've had huge fields of like the original pine trees and stuff done up like this. So this is just this. So some of the other things that I'm going to start explaining are the charcoal pits. Charcoal pits are fairly important. Charcoal is right now pretty much the source of most of your heating needs. Most of your heating needs for whatever you potentially need. Whatever you potentially need. Nice. For things like creating a forge, cooking food, heating down metals. You can do a good portion of that with a fire pit, but a nice amount of charcoal and a forge, or coal and a forge, depending on what you have, will work out so much better. So we are just looking for a place. If this is where I'm going to build my house, maybe I'll do like a staircase up here, and probably make the staircase offline sometime. And instead, I'll build like my forgery stuff up here, where I got like kind of, you know, a view down below. So I'm just going to dig through this real quick, make a couple of shovels. So I got the 1 shovel there, 9 torches, lots of sticks, some sugar cane. Ooh, lots of sugar cane. Wonder where all that came from. Need another string. I can make a bow. Let me go check that real quick. Arming yourself in this game, very important. And that was not the sprint key. That was the I don't want to sprint key. So I do have a lot of feathers for arrows. A couple of eggs for food. Must have a torch over there. Yeah, but not enough string. So we'll just ignore that for now. So I'm just going... how much dacite? Schist, limestone, chalk. Is that really all the stone that we have gathered? There's got to be some here somewhere. Wow. Alright, we might need to pay attention to our stone collection. Ooh, pumpkins. Nice. Actually, that looks like a pretty cool area to build up there. Maybe that's where I should build my forge, you know, kind of wrap up and around, have it be kind of an alcove-y thing. If I only had more time. So, charcoal pit. Charcoal pits can, like all the rules that are along with them have pretty much gone out the window right now. All you absolutely have to have is a area that's enclosed, filled with lumber, with a fire pit somewhere around it. And that's pretty much good enough to start cooking your charcoal. And there we go. Going to go goodbye, maple. Yay. I want kind of a flattish area to work with. So I'm going to try to bring everything down to the level I'm on right now. and then I'll also bring the outside area up a little bit. You don't technically have to do this, but I like giving myself a little bit of room. So, got a nice little pile of wood, or dirt. Not really going to be able to do much on this side, so need to put it where we can. Kind of build this area out. Yeah, leave that there. 16. This kind of gives us a nice sort of nighttime. I shall hop back down the hill. Another thing I want to get to today, just like in my main spotter's guide, is I like a wheat farm because food is going to become a concern. So, going to hop down here, and I'm going to spend a little bit of the night here cooking some food, where I'll be a little bit safer on the inside here. And actually, I love a pumpkin, or actually a jack-o'-lantern cooking stove. But for now, we will use this. Get a couple of sticks. And I believe I saw a fire starter out here. So we want to cook those steaks. I will eventually be moving all that stuff. Oops, can't right-click a stick. I will eventually be moving all that stuff to actually partake of this area. Maple is a hot burning wood, so I'll be using that for cooking. Could also do with some more torches, as you can see. But yeah, the stone is actually starting to be a concern. I need to spend some time getting some metals and stuff like that. So, have I actually... I apparently have not marked any of the metals that I found on the map. Oh, yep. That sucks. So I'll have to locate some metals, kind of see what's in the area, and what I'll probably end up doing is setting up a sluice box. Sluicing is a way, without having like a pro pick or anything like that, or a prospector's pick for its full name, is a way for finding out what metals are in the area, and it will slowly but surely over time give you the a fine selection of the different types of metal and such that are around. And I did find some though, right? There's a small bismuth. I swear I marked them on the map. I guess not. So for those who haven't heard, I spent last week upgrading my computer, so I now have more hard drive space. Same fast Velociraptor drive, so I don't have any issues with my recording speed. But I was always running out of space. I have too many games installed. I encode in a very high format at a high resolution. So it was just taking a considerable amount of space on my hard drive. I could really only record one episode. So that's been taken care of. This is the reinstalled system. It took me a while to find my rendering software again. But now I should be back in full swing. And what time of day? Halfway there. Not too bad. So cooking food does take a little bit of time. It can be kind of annoying. However, the food should last me a good long while. I'm not doing anything super extraneous. Put in another piece of maple. It immediately consumed it. Gets my heat to go back up though. Maple seems to be my wood of choice so far. Not that I'm building out of it. I don't actually know what this is. It's been such a long time since I put it there. Just oak? Yep, just oak. Normal vanilla wood, so to speak. But plan is, have more oak grow. Oh, cool. Looks like I have 2 grown. Oh no, different leaves. So maybe a spruce? In either case, it will go very well. But I'm gonna get some more oak. Gonna kind of finish this off. Got some areas where I want some windows, so I kind of, did the little edges here and such. I might actually move this door over here one, just so I can kind of keep the pattern going. Patterns are always important, and symmetry in architecture and such. Yes, I see you, creeper. Creepers can ruin everything. So another thing that we're going to go hunting for as soon as I have the time is we need a swamp, because I want some willow saplings, which I do not have any of with me. I want to say maybe that way, if I recall correctly. It has been a while. Do a little mini-map zoom in there. Yeah, nothing really standing out as, hey, I'm a willow tree. But willows are a pretty fast-growing tree. They always have quite a bit of lumber. The spruce tree now also can grow pretty big, and also will contain quite a bit of lumber, but I'm just used to using the willow trees, so make a nice little forest of them, because that is how you make charcoal. You get the lumber from the trees, pack it around a fire pit, pack the fire pit encased. First one's likely to be in dirt this time around, just because I don't want to have to deal with getting a chisel yet. And the only other material I could use would be like stones and such. I could actually dig one out, you know, just kind of put like a little smoking room. Maybe I'll do that. Oops, creeper. Cook another steak here. There he is, waiting outside the door for me. Just like a good creeper. Let's throw another piece of maple in there. Should have enough time to make some torches. If I was really in a hurry, I would have actually just started another fire next to this one and gotten the torches and stuff going in there. But apparently, or amazingly enough, you can't actually light a fire on a piece of lumber. I don't remember when I discovered that, but I was very annoyed as I put down a piece of block of wood, tried to make a fire on top of it, and maybe it was just bad luck, but it never actually lit. So now I just don't try to do that at all. There we go. Ooh. Shovel, shovel, better shovel. And the last of our steaks. Hello, creeper. I don't think my house is that tall. I would assume I should be able to see him out these windows here, but I just never do. So now, back to making some torches. Can put the food in there. Alright, we will keep a safe distance. And torches burn up quite a bit faster. Cool, sun's coming up, or well, moon's going down. Sun will be coming up shortly after that. Should also probably take this time to make a couple more shovels, just in case. I mean, I can't really dig into the stone without a pick. I suppose I could try. Well, this might be a worthwhile time to actually switch over to sluicing instead of the charcoal pit. I just like trying to get those things started kind of soon, because you just need charcoal, and having a lot of it on hand is never a bad thing. Should probably take some leather, make myself a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, make myself a chest plate, give myself a little more protection for whatever nasties decide to come at me. And one more after this. And sorry about the whistling. I know my teeth do it. But since they're my teeth, not much I can do. Alright. Looks like we have some daylight going. I don't hear the creeper skulking around, but I'm going to take a peek for him nonetheless. One bad thing about building with the tree logs like this is if something breaks the log down there, the rest of it goes ploof into lumber that I can no longer use. So, sounds like we lost the creeper. And doo-doo. So for leather armor, it's just the normal patterns. Ta-da! Boom. Yeah. You can still see my bow tie. Bow ties are cool. So, in keeping with our farm growing, always take the opportunity. The one thing you do have to be careful about with trees this close is chopping down one is likely going to break these other two as well. So I want to make sure I get at least a single sapling from each of the 3 trees here. Then on the plus side, I can probably just chop down that one tree and save myself some durability. Yeah, but since I'm not really in need of sticks, I really am just looking for a single sapling from all of them. Oh, those are the same tree. Works for me. Nice, they're not that close. Although in this case I guess it would have been better, as I would have saved myself some durability. Not a ton though. And there's another tree already. Looks like the spruce. Maybe the pine. Nope, I got a sapling. Pine tree, nice. Yeah, I was gonna say it didn't look quite as dark as the spruce bark over there. So I'm gonna look for both loose stone, so I can gather the stone for the tools. I'm also going to see what kinds of ore I can find while I'm poking these stones and where I can find it. Did I see something? Nope. Just the curve in the... Ooh, cow. Curve in the leaves, I guess. Thought I saw something menacing. But, so the loose stone will help me with my tool problem, is, you know, I don't want to run out too much. And finding the metal, I need to find it near water, so I'm actually kind of glad to see all these pools of water. Sluicing requires flowing water, and a sluice box. It would be nice if I could find some ore in some of these things. What am I finding stone-wise, though? Dacite, it would seem. So I'm also on the lookout while I'm out here wandering for willow trees and wheat seeds. Oops. Freaked out by a cow. Nope. Nope. Just more and more dacite. Wow, I've been really lucky up until now, I guess. I usually find tons of ore underneath these stones. Well, not tons, but more than we're finding right here. This doesn't bode entirely well for local ore in this area. Yeah, not going up there. This doesn't look like dacite to me. But I guess it is. Hello, sheep. I think the spy chickens have started recruiting the sheep. So what we're going to do, start marking the sheep population. Holy crap. Yep, they now love to dance in the leaves. One male sheep. One female sheep. Haha. Ooh. Sand? Way up there? Really? Oh, creeper. Doesn't look like a desert. What's sand doing up here? Oh, haha. Pool of water? Oh, it looks like there might even be some clay. Or stone. Is the sun really setting already? Oh no, okay, about midday. Ooh, or small cassiterite. That is actually a really good... Oops, that's not the right button. So, loose cassiterite, right there, right next to a body of water. So we could set up a sluicing system right here. And since it's on the edge of a cliff, this sluicing system could look awesome. Awesome. Whoa, whoa! Yipes. Alrighty, let me take care of the uneven ground here. Don't want that happening again, as I'm going to likely be in this area for a bit. So, back to a little bit of dirt. There we go. Now I'll put that back too. And there. So for sluicing, the range I want to say is like about 100 meters or so. So I usually try to go out 50 in each direction. But since this is right next to the body of water, we don't even have to worry about the distance. What I am going to worry about is making a neat waterfall. It's part of my whole form and function at the same time thing. Oops, gonna need another one of them, since we seem to be finding a lot of dacite. You can tell the patterns I use all the time, as I have them fairly well memorized. Yeah, that creeper just went up behind that tree. Oh, skeleton. This is not exactly a safe area to be in. So, if I recall correctly, water can flow 7 blocks. And every time it falls, it's going to go down again. So I'm going to end up making some pretty neat channels here for the water to go down. That will then dump into sluices and eventually go into that place down there. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to lay that out without ruining this hill. Let me take this down. Sand is useful in a sluice box if you're looking for gems. Right now we're going to be focusing on ores, which you would want to use, you would want to use grapple for. So if we took that down, anywhere that I let water flow to, so use that to rebuild a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Would then sluice box is too long, and it needs to go down 1. So the water would flow from there, around the corner, hit the sluice box here, and then go down 1. So perfect. And then I could have the water come out in this direction. Get a nice little waterfall type thing going. And so water, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put another sluice box here. The other thing about the sluice boxes, though, is that you want to put them somewhere where they're a bit accessible. Ooh, nighttime. This time I'm just going to run back to my house real quick. Oh, oh. Yeah, run. Run, run, run. I saw the glowing on the map there, if you look in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. Surface lava, I'm thinking? So that would be kind of cool. Oops, grab onto the ledge. That would help as opposed to just jumping at it. So I'm just going to run back. I'm going to sleep real quick. I'm also going to pick up the crafting table, as we will need that. What's all this? Thought I saw like a skeleton on fire or something. I guess not. So we will pick you up and take a nap. So, Insomnia, I don't know if I let people know that this is another mod that I've installed. This is actually installed all the time for me, but it disables itself in multiplayer. And this is just without being able to make a clock. These are my only options. I can sleep until dawn, and I can also reset my my spawn point with the options on the screen there. What this is actually going to do, which I like in the single player significantly, is that this is actually going to pass time, which is a little dangerous. Spiders could jump on me and such like that because my house isn't finished. They could just, you know, wee over the edge here, or if they actually even spawned up here. I mean, it might even be dark enough, and then just land on me. So I might get woken up. But what it will also do is you can see how all my sugarcane has now grown. If all these trees hadn't grown to probably block each other out, it would have also made these go. Insomnia actually makes the time pass while you're sleeping. So things can happen during the night. Makes it dangerous, but you also reap the benefits with the with those dangers. So there's an oak sapling. There's another one. See if I can't get a maple. I think I would have grown some white cedar by now. Don't know why I haven't planted it. So, 3 maple, 1 oak, and an axe. Nope, 2 away, and it still didn't break this one down. So, in order to make a sluice, we are going to, oops, haha, yes, we are going to, oops. In order to make a sluice, we are going to need 1, 2, 3, 4. Take out the oak. Put in those. Maple sapling. Going to need some logs. Going to need some sticks. And look, extra sapling. Yay! Alright, so back over to our sluice. When I get over there, I'll eat the steak because I'm doing some sprinting. And luckily, marked the sluice spot with the ore that I had found. Oh, a fruit tree! Yay! Fruit trees always have that fairly unique look to them. There's the guard sheep. slowly climb up the side here. Is that another guard sheep up here I saw? Would be neat to find other rocks in the area, but knowing that there's... Oh. Really, sheep? Yes, seriously? Alright. Yeah. Yeah. Down. 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 Nope. Nope. That's my hidey hole. That's right. You stay down there. Argument with a sheep, for crying out loud. So I can't do anything to this side here, or that side there, is the sluice box needs the things on each side of them. But it would be kind of nice to wrap the waterfall back around this way for some aesthetic purposes. And didn't I make another shovel? I guess that was it. Boy. Here we go. So it needs to go down another one. This will actually become a source block, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I can put in the 2-part sluice, the one spot that it needs, and then waterfall. Ha ha ha. This will be kind of neat. It's going to be a nice, like, little different series of locks and stuff like that to have the water going down the sluices. So, this might be an updated pattern, but let me see if this works. Nope. I guess I need to use the new planks, which is why I brought this and these. So we'll take that. Actually, we'll take, whoa, messages. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And that is a sluice. We will make 2 of them, although I want a 3rd right now. This will have to do for a moment. And so 1 flowing water, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Watch me placing this down backwards. Yep. There we go. And that is odd. That water should be flowing, and it's not. Let me try. There we go. Now it's active. And it's not liking me placing it that way. It's that way again. And like my big concern, which I almost was perpetrating myself, is that creatures are going to walk over these things and make them fall. Now that kind of looks crappy. Yeah, it kind of fills in that whole area there. We'll work on that in a bit. For now, sluicing. Ha ha ha. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to find gravel. And this is a completely sand pond. Actually, let me make that one last sluice real quick. So I'll just need, I got some maple planks, I'll just need 1 more set of maple planks. Because unfortunately, it takes 3. Might as well make a second one while I'm here. I can put another one in this chain here somewhere. Whee! And ending water. And I always forget to place them this way. But this is where we need that block there. And that block there. How am I going to get this one to flow without making it look really weird? Yeah, that's really weird. And now I have the entire side of the pond here covered. Well, like the other one, we will fix this up later. I can already see with these 2 meeting in the center here, it'd be kind of neat to have them meet up like right there, so... Oops. like that. Flow down the middle. Do the same kind of thing to this side, just kind of raise it up. Oh. Did I actually? No. Now if I dropped them, they wouldn't have been together. So a zombie died somewhere that it could fall in water. Alright. Alright. Options. Music. Lower. Lower.
It exists in the commerce of America.
Roar. So now we got that kind of set up for future endeavors. But what we really want... Wow, I think smart movement made me climb up that. So what we really want is some gravel. And the easiest place to find gravel is at the bottoms of lakes and rivers. And here we are. Gravel, gravel, gravel. Oops. So gravel actually shovels up pretty quickly. So it's somewhat easy to tell the difference between it and dirt just by how fast you can collect it. Almost done with the shovel. And this is when I remember that my inventory is full, that's why I'm not picking anything up. There we go. So you can still use gravel to, or flint I mean, well gravel to get flint, to make a flint arrows and stuff like that with the recipe. But since you can actually make arrows with just those loose stones, I don't recommend trying to turn much of it into flint. It is much more useful as a source of small metal ores. And standing lets you dig a little faster. And it looks like we need another tool again. Out as far as I can. Change blocks. Notice that it's getting dark. This is another thing though where Insomnia is going to come in kind of handy. There we go. Is it will also, as long as these things are active, which they should be at the range my house is at, is it'll also make them sluice a little bit faster. So looking forward to that. How much do I have on me? 54. That's good enough. Especially since the sluices can only hold 2 of them at a time. Creepers are notorious for blowing up my sluices. Oh, oh, Enderman. He can look. Going to just add some supports here. A little light. I also wanted to check out that other glowing area over there. See what that is. It's right over there. Not looking at you, Enderman. Uh-oh. Oh, excuse me if you could hear that. Okay, so sluices. When you right-click a sluice, it'll tell you how much it has in it. This is the area to collect the materials, and just a little progress bar. The easiest way to fill a sluice is to let it gather material like that. So each block is is 20 units. And this is where I was saying is you kind of want your sluices easy to get to, because you need to fill them up like this. You also need to take them back down. So I think at the end I'm also going to put like a little set of bridges and stuff to take me from sluice to sluice, kind of a neat area. But for now, this just shows basic functionality. And you can't expect this to get you a whole bunch of ores. It's not meant to be a way to replace mining and stuff like that. But this is a kind of handy way where we're hopefully going to be getting some enough small cassiterite to generate a tin pick, maybe a tin shovel, tin sword. Depends on how much cassiterite we can actually find out of these sluices. And unfortunately, these are time consuming. I wish I'd been able to make them a little closer to my base. I mean, honestly, I probably should move my base right over to there and just build on that plateau. That way these are kind of within the range of usable possibility. Like I could be working on my farm right now. And I still could, if I want to move my house over here, I suppose. Just start working on the farm. I'm waiting for this to get down to 30 though. I'll toss in another one, since each one of these is worth 20. The other thing you can do is make a little carving knife and carve out some wooden bowls. Wooden bowls can then be used to create gold pan, which you can then use to look for materials as well. The sluicing box is kind of like the automated version of that. What you can also do with the gold pan though is fill up the sluice box, and you know this can be a benefit, but it's not always. The issue is that when you're fudge. See, cursed. Come on, Enderman. Ender Bob. No! Figures. And I missed the jump. Ha! Ha! Yes, jump back up. There you go. So I wonder how this happened. That just looks like a interesting divot that I somehow missed right there. So, checking my sluices. Nothing and nothing so far. That's actually disappointing. Alright, so I'm just going to let them be. So that's the basic pattern for a sluice. I do recommend linking them together as much as you can. With the water flowing right there, I technically think I could put a sluice right here. So we know the rules. I do have that extra sluice box. I could make it meet up with the stuff down below. It's gonna go down one, and then this will just keep the water flowing in a more appropriate direction. Let's see how that... Oh, perfect! Look at that. Perfect. So... yeah, no matter what I do, it's pretty much going to be screwed up, so I'll just do that for now. Ow. Stupid skeleton, I knew that was coming though. The tracking those things have these days. I can still hear it coming. Alrighty, I was actually just trying to fix the water flow, but I'm honestly not that concerned about it right now. So to keep the water in check. There we go. Kind of let it do its thing that way. Although I think it should still be one lower here. Why am I dealing with floating log? What the? Aw. Bastard zombie. So, if you haven't figured out what he did, there was a rock crumbling noise. Somebody dropped a piece of dirt in my water flow. There we go. Yay! Oh, copper nugget! Nice! Gravel? I'm actually going to show you guys a trick right now. Is the gravel makes the ores more common. But it only can tell the last thing that you put into there. So if I fill it with, say, sand, and then a piece of gravel, it now thinks there's 40 things of gravel. Isn't it cool? So it's a way to utilize your sand a little bit better. And there we go there. Yeah, take that. Yep, can't jump up those. Whoa. Haha, I can see where that can get a little bit dangerous. So, doing the same thing before, throw in a sand. And it's going to waste 4 spots, but I'll just consider it wasting 4 sand. No worries. So, nothing though. Nothing. Nothing and copper. Ooh, flawless garden, but we don't care about that. Small cassiterite, native copper nugget. Is a nugget the same? I thought it was. Anywho, we'll let this get our stuff. So, that right there is the basics of water flowing. Burn, zombie. And easiest way to get it flowing again. Ha 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 ha. Whee! Whee! So, plenty of water around here. I think that this might make a nice farm. And I'm really loath to actually fill in water. That would just like, yeah. Make a little more water here. Can do the same here. Really neat if I could actually just combine these, but I don't think I can. They're like one away. Yep. I'll find a way around that. For now, however, we shall mark some sheep. So I have one of each gender of red sheep and one of each gender of yellow sheep. So I'm going to dig this edge out here, widen out this area for water, because I'm going to build my wheat farm. Be fairly small and modest for now, doesn't need to be huge. And I'll build it right here, kind of in this little alcove-y thing. We're going to want a little bit of a wall around this. I'll leave that open for a gate. Also thinking we want this high enough to where it's not going to be a good idea for livestock and such to walk down. Like, I don't believe they like jumping down that far. So we'll use that to our advantage. This way I'll only have to fence in... Ha! That's right, sheep. I see you. Out. Out. Hoe pattern. Did this on the Spotter's Guide. And something like this. Screwed it up. Try it again. Nope. Alright. I shall look this one up again. I will one day remember what the recipe is for this. terrafirmacraft.com/wiki. I think it's just plans after there. Ew, not /wiki. wiki.terrafirmacraft.com. The other one apparently leads to an empty wiki. I wonder if that was just something that was previously set up or a different way of accessing this one. Okay, so it goes 2 across. That's what I was messing up. So I need to leave that like that. There we go. 1 stone hoe head. Add in that. Perfect. And there we go, farmland. Not that hard to do. I already got some seeds on me. Shall plant them in a row so they grow faster. And now, we will watch as the sheep are inexplicitly drawn towards my freshly tilled soil. They just want to run amok. I know it. And I'm climbing back up this way for my crafting bench. I'm going to make some fence posts out of all the sticks and such that I have. Here we go. Think 20. We'll see what 30 can do for us. Besides, take up a whole bunch of sticks. So the reason we're building the farm next to the water is that you actually can't move water in a terra firma craft bucket any longer. It'll be finite water, so you get a block of water, and since I can't, let's round that off a little, except for there. But it's finite water, so the water will run out. You actually can use it to farm with, so I would be able to fill up a bucket, but you can't get the source blocks to actually stick around for any length of time. So now I need a gate, which is a couple of sticks and a plank of wood. Maybe I'll have a use for those planks. Have to say that I like the entrances into this valley, so I think I am pretty set on moving into here, even though I spent all that time getting the those trees to grow. And do I have any planks from the sluices? No, I do not. What happened to my pine? There we go. One of those. Music was playing. Okay. Doot. I mean, I like this. Maybe build a little something here. Have that as a basement. That would be pretty cool. Then I got the pass right there. I mean, I know the end of the thing is there, but still. That's just kind of neat. Oh, you stupid sheep. I thought they weren't allowed to trample things anymore. That's why I wasn't all that concerned. I shall now be concerned. One of those. Nope. Alright, he's just doing this on purpose now. No. You cannot have wheat. Yeah, out. You move your ass out. There. So, let's fix that. Or actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess this back road just isn't going to stay hydrated, is it? No worries. What the? Did I really leave it open? No! No! Evil sheep. Evil sheep. No! Aw. Evil sheep and stupid me. So, what do we have for dirt? Not enough. Not enough. We can, however, put up some torches. Probably make a proper staircase out of this over here. And we lost our shovel. Go figure. So, there we go. We have a nice little sluicing area. We have a start of a wheat farm. I'll be gathering more seeds as I can. I think that's pretty good. Not exactly what I wanted to show this time. Oh, looks like my water's messed up again. I'll fix that later. Anyways, not exactly what I planned on showing today. But we'll get to an episode with a charcoal pit next. Maybe after I spend a little offline time filling out this this here, moving my treasure chest from over there to over here. and getting some more of the materials out of the sluicing. So I hope this was useful. Showed you sluicing and just the basics of setting up a wheat farm in Terra Firma Craft, where location, location, location is definitely the mantra that you want here. So look forward to any feedback in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys later.